Let's face it, making new friends as adults is hard. And if you're a veteran, this might even be harder. Hey, I'm Dr. McCleary, licensed clinical psychologist and Navy veteran. And I make mental health education videos for veterans and their families. So be sure to subscribe. In this video, I want to give you 5 tips on how to make new friends and maintain friends after getting out of the military. And we're starting right now. My first tip for you might seem simple, but it's arguably the most important. You actually have to be open to making new friends, because this is common after you get out of the military. Hey, you want to hang out? No. Hey, you want to come to our barbecue? No. Hey, you want to study tonight? No. I'll admit, when I first got out, this was me. My next tip for you is to find the other veterans. And yes, I am knife handing you right now. Find the other veterans in your community. Maybe they go to your school. Maybe they're at your job. Contrary to popular opinion, when you're active duty and you think that nobody's ever transitioned before, there are a ton more veterans than there are people serving in uniform. And they're everywhere. We are everywhere. Maybe those veterans that you're looking for aren't just at the VFW and with veteran organizations, although those are good ways to start. If you're getting value from this video, go ahead and give it a like. Or more important than that, share this video with a veteran buddy. My third tip for you is to just spend time around other people. Now, this might seem simple, but for a lot of veterans, especially if they're dealing with mental health issues, they may tend to isolate more. They might tend to want to be on their own a lot more. And if you're looking to build relationships, if you're looking to make a new friend, they're not going to come knocking at your door. And you don't have to necessarily go knocking at theirs. What is important is that you give yourself opportunities to make friends. And that actually involves being around people. Great ways to start being around people are to just start doing things that you actually like doing. So maybe you volunteer for an organization, or maybe you join a club to where you're going to already be doing things that you already like. In those environments, it's easier to make friends, and it's also easier to do and make that small talk that many of us are not big fans of, because you already have something that both of you guys are interested in. Be sure to stay to the end of this video, because I'm not only going to give you a bonus tip, but I'm also going to save the last tip, which is arguably going to be the most important for you, not just to create new relationships, but also maintain them. I want to take a moment to combine tip 3 with tip number 1. One being, be open to creating new relationships or creating new friendships. And 3 being, create that opportunity. Be around people. You have to combine these two. And basically what I'm telling you to do is, when somebody asks you to hang out, to say yes. Pretty simple. Simple but hard. You don't want to just create the opportunity and then not capitalize on it. So if you want to make new friends, you're going to have to create the opportunity, and you're going to actually have to capitalize on that opportunity when it comes. So my bonus tip for you guys, and I'm going to give it to you early. Don't limit yourself to just trying to make friends with other veterans. contrary to popular opinion, there are some decent civilians out there. Yes, I didn't believe it myself. If you only limit yourself to veterans, you're essentially ruling out 99% of the U.S. population. And you may even be limiting yourself to people that can help you and great friendships. Tip number 4, find your old friends. Find your military buddies. Contact them again. This is actually easier than it used to be. Now with social media and the internet, you can find your old buddies. Connect with them again. This is important because sometimes creating new relationships is good. But also, what you want to do is you want to maintain old relationships. Just because you get out of the military doesn't mean that you have to lose those relationships. I know this personally. Some of my best buddies are guys that I serve with. As promised, my last tip, tip number 5, may be the most important part of maintaining and gaining new relationships, new friendships, is, guess what? Be a good friend yourself. Sometimes this tip gets left out. And we wonder why we don't have the relationships that we want in our lives. Maybe part of that is that we haven't been a good friend ourselves. Well, what does a good friend look like, Doc? I'm glad you asked. A good friend follows up. A good friend checks in on their buddies every once in a while. A good friend asks their buddies, hey, do you want to hang out? Not just waiting for their buddies to ask them. A good buddy or friend asks your friend if they need help or they need support before they ask you for it. All of these things are parts of being a good friend. And if you're a good friend, those relationships largely will take care of themselves. Other people will also be able to see that you're a good friend. And guess what? They'll want to be your friend too. Something to think about. If this video was helpful for you, and I hope that it was, please like it or consider subscribing to my channel if you want to learn more about mental health. But more important than that, as always, if this video was helpful for you, well, that means that it can possibly be helpful for another veteran or another friend or family member of a veteran. So I ask that you share it with them, because at the end of the day, that's really what all this is about. One veteran trying to help another.